Hi guys, welcome to another watercolor tutorial. We are painting an abstract winter scene today. So I have my piece of paper in landscape position, the borders are taped, and we're gonna start with applying, I want to say it's gray, but the more I look at it, it's kind of like a pink, maybe even a cream color, but we can adjust that later. This is inspired by Stephen Cronin. I found an image on the internet, but I believe he has a tutorial on this. I have not seen the tutorial. As I mentioned, I don't really watch video tutorials. If I'm using inspiration, it comes from photos or thumbnails of videos, but I don't watch the actual videos. So I'm taking gray and I'm applying it in kind of a bit of an angle, like a swoop, like so. And we're gonna mix in some like pink and whatnot into this. I'm just getting the color down, some gray down. So I'm gonna take a bit of yellow and just kind of get that in there. And I also want to take a little bit of pink, mix that in there as well. There's no really like, the color combinations don't matter too much, just plop down what you want to plop down. And it'll all kind of spread and merge together anyways, so don't be too particular with this. Do want to add a little bit more gray at the top here. I had this flashback, maybe it's because it's this gray sky, but back in 2000 and I think it was 17, my now husband, but at the time we were just dating, we went on a cross America cycling trip, and you may have heard me mention this a couple of times in random videos, but we cycled from Toronto to Los Angeles, so that was over 5,000 kilometers over the span of 2 months. And I don't remember where this was somewhere in the middle. I think it was before Utah. Oh yeah, it was way before Utah. It was actually in the beginning, maybe close to like Missouri, or I don't know. Point is, we were going through this one town and it looked like it was about to pour. And like, we cycle in rain, we cycle in whatever weather that is not dangerous. So although we did cycle through like a thunderstorm in Kansas, which is kind of the worst combination, but you know, when you're in the middle of nowhere, what are you gonna do? Lay in a ditch? Well, I guess we also did that. That also happened. But anyways, in this random town, we saw this huge cloud, like rain cloud coming, and we were like, okay, what do we do? It was around lunchtime, so we were kind of, I don't want to say it was the middle of nowhere, like Kansas is the middle of nowhere, but there wasn't too much around when you're on a bike. So we happened upon this little pizza parlor. Actually, it was a Pizza Hut, so it wasn't. We went in there and we had a really, really tasty pizza. And I don't know, like the what do you call it? The atmosphere was so cozy because it was really dark outside since it was about to pour down, and the inside of this Pizza Hut was just kind of lit up with these glowing lights, and it was very atmospheric. And for some reason, you're probably like, why is this relevant, Julia? For some reason, this sky just brought back that memory. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there because I'm like way overdoing it. This is supposed to be an abstract painting and I just keep going and going. And what I forgot to do before this dried, maybe it's still a little bit wet and I can do it. I wanted to add like a mountainscape here. Sort of like this. I did want to add a little bit of blue to it. So I don't know what order my tutorials are going to be released, but this is the last tutorial that I'm painting of January, which is crazy. That means I only have February left. And then I'm basically off for 8 months. I probably will continue painting until I can't paint anymore. So hold on, where are we? Okay, I think I'm gonna let this dry because if I don't, then everything else will be a little bit messed up. But actually, as I say that, because we're gonna add a tree line along the horizon. So I technically should wait for it to dry, but I'm gonna just add a thin black line. And I'm purposely making it uneven at the bottom here, like making it a bit jaggedy because we don't want it to look perfect. We want that abstract look. So actually I'm happy I didn't wait because that very gentle, gradual bleeding of this black is working to my advantage. In fact, I will just continue on, at least in the drier areas, and add some, I don't want to call it peaks, but treetops, I suppose, to make it look like this is a tree line. Oh dear me. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so what's next, my friends? What's next on the list here? You know, rinse my brush and pick up kind of that original purpley color that we used up here. But I want to make sure it's really watered down. And I want to make, I don't really know what this is. Some sort of shadow. It's way too dark. What is happening here? This was not my intention at all. We can always add a fence to fix things. I don't know if I said that already. My memory is clearly not sharp at the moment. I mixed a little bit of orange into that and on my palette, and I am gonna have a little section coming out here. Maybe I should have added a little bit of that in here. The more we get together, together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. Your place and my place, your place, mine. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. I don't know what this is, but I'm using black. It's in the reference photo I'm looking at. Actually, now that I look at this, this is way lower. There's a bunch of these little specks everywhere. And you don't have to add them if you don't want to. I think I'm gonna add a fence though, because a fence, this isn't really an abstract painting until, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, this is not textbook here, but it's not abstract until you have one thing that is detailed. So actually I'm gonna also paint a tree, so that's one of my detailed things. So this tree is going to start, oh man, I do this every darn time. It's bleeding out here. I'm gonna just wait. Every time, every freaking time. All right, pause that. We'll do the fence first. Actually, I'm just gonna put a blow dryer to this because chances are this is wet too. Okay. I have my liner brush here. And my fence will just start here somewhere. It'll kind of taper off. The more we get together, oh my goodness, stop it, Julia. And then I'm going to connect it with my fence line. Trying to make those as thin as possible. This kind of looks like a lamp post or something, but no, it's just a failed tree trunk. Another flashback I just had, completely unrelated to anything, but I'm always thinking about ideas to help bring in more income. And when I was in grade 2, so I was, I think, 8 years old, I bought, what's it called? GIMP? Maybe it's called GIMP. I might be completely making that up. It's like a plastic thread, not a thread. You can make these really cool bracelets out of it with different tying techniques, but it's plastic. And back then, these like zipper bracelets were all the rage. So I learned how to make them. And I thought, why don't I try selling these things? And I just can't believe that my 8-year-old brain came up with this. And so I went with my mom, and my mom bought me, I think, 3 or 4 colors of this gimp. They were on spools. This pink, blue, green, and silver. And I would come to school with this binder and I would take people's orders. So I'd be like, okay, what colors do you want? How long do you want this bracelet to be? Or it didn't have to be a bracelet, but sometimes it was just like a keychain type thing. And I charged around $2 per bracelet. And I was just like, oh, well, my mom's buying me this thread, so I don't even need to worry about what's the word? The cost that it takes to produce a product. I don't have to take that into account. The word is escaping me at the moment. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought about that. I really hope that I can instill that kind of business spirit in my children, because I think that is a very useful skill to have, to be so resourceful and to try and, you know, make money from nothing, essentially. My mom told me I have a talent of doing that. So, okay, where are we in this? This looks kind of sad. Maybe it's supposed to look sad. But to me, I feel like it's missing something. I'm going to add another tree. The more we get together, the more we get together. I used to work, like years ago when I worked at a health food store, I had a coworker that I really liked. And she was such a funny, quirky gal. And sometimes when we kind of ran out of things to talk about, she would just sigh this heavy sigh. Or if I would sigh, she would sigh right after. But the way she did it was just so funny. I don't really know how else to explain it. I miss her. I miss having cool coworkers. I miss working at a place that I genuinely enjoyed working at. Everywhere except my most recent employment before I gave birth, I really enjoyed working at. And that's not like the people that I worked with recently were great and whatnot, but it was just totally not my thing. Like, I worked at basically a tourist store, like a luxury home decor store, but it was just selling a lot of stuff people really don't need, which does not align with my values. I don't like going into a store and buying something just because you saw it and you didn't have the intention of buying it. When you don't have the money to buy it, it doesn't align with my values. But we all have to make money somehow. And it was a good place to work. But the other places that I've worked in the past when I lived in the city and therefore had way more options were much more aligned. So I worked at a health food store. I worked at a like outdoor equipment travel store. And I really, really liked working at those places because they were all hobbies of mine. So it didn't always feel like work. I got to talk with other people about, like at the outdoor adventure store, everyone that was there buying stuff, they were going somewhere. They were going on a canoe trip, on a backpacking trip. They were traveling somewhere. They were trying canoeing for the first time, kayaking. It was just so much fun talking with customers about all the really cool places they were going and sharing experiences. And same with the health food store. Like, I was obsessed with health. So, you know, my coworkers were full of knowledge and I was able to pick their brains on things I didn't know yet or didn't understand. I learned so much at that store. That was definitely the best employment I've ever had. The owner, probably one of the most genuine men I know. Like, he was so generous, and I really miss working for him. He made coming to work, like, it was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. And we got so many like cool benefits, and it was just amazing. I loved working there. Like, in that picture, something that you love, whether it's sports or, I don't know, geocaching, or you really like Japanese cuisine. I don't know. Picture something that you really love and that you spend money on anyway. And now picture working there and getting those things for free. Like, that was basically my experience. Like, stuff that I would be buying anyway, I'd be getting for free. I'd be able to try new health products. It was wonderful. I loved it. And that was a huge reason why we almost didn't buy the house that we bought and moved, because I loved where I worked. I loved where I worked. It was amazing. And my coworkers were amazing. That was the most amazing place I've ever worked. That health food store. Anyway, I've added some footprints because why not? There we go. And you know what? Other than a bird, I think that's it for this painting. So I'll add just a flying bird here. Maybe two, so he's not lonely. There we go. All right, I quite like that. I like how this turned out. I kind of made it my own. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And I will be sure to see you in the next tutorial.